Hey, I'm Colin,
And I'm Chris.
and this is episode 12 of You Enjoy Ourselves.
Hey, everybody, it's my turn to present, and we got another request fulfilled here today. So here we go. Without further ado, I'm going to share a screenshot of what we're getting into here. Boom. Can you guys see that? There's a guitar part that has blown my mind since I first heard it. I can give you the exact spot. Anyway, it is Chick Corea's Cool Weasel Boogie from Electric Band. And it is pretty insane. So let me unshare that. And it's at about the 5:30 mark for anybody that wants to follow along. I'm just referencing the studio version of his main page. I'll share that in a second. And it's this might be like the Jimmy Herring one that was requested before was pretty insane. This might even top that in terms of just bonkers. I don't know. It's really something. So here we go.
I'm smiling a lot, man.
Well, I'm going to be wincing.
I
Here we go.
heard this the other day. It's a heater.
Here we go. That is the end of the clip I'll be presenting today. It's really quite fast. So what I think I'm going to do here, before I get your initial reaction to it, let me just play it at I'm actually going to play it at the tempo I'm going to be presenting today, which is half speed, because it is just it
Can we
is.
hear it one more time at full?
Oh sure, yeah,
I want to hear it
absolutely.
one more time at full, just for
Yeah,
the
let's do
organic
it.
effect of it. It's so beautiful. Hey, if you're enjoying the podcast, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to both of our channels, hit the bell for notifications for upcoming episodes, and if you want to work with either Chris or myself directly, go over to Chris's website, Elevated Improv, or give me a call or shoot me an email. All of that information will be in the description of this video below. Thanks.
Let's do it. Here we go. I'm going to put it like a few seconds before, so I'll cue it at like 5:25. Here we go. It just occurred to me. I'm like, shoot, do I even know who's playing guitar on this? I was so focused on okay. Uh, oh, no.
Sure, it doesn't. I think the commenter said it in the comment. Was it Carlos Rios?
Oh, okay. Maybe he did. Yeah. You know what? I got so locked into like I gotta transcribe this. Or I didn't actually write it out. I just figured it out. But I got so locked into learning it, I forgot even who was doing it. At
I'm
any
not. I'm
rate,
not sure about that. I'm gonna. Here, I'll just Google it in the background.
yeah. Let's look that up because you know what, man. I should have thought of that, but I was really locked into just learning it. So while you're doing that, I'm gonna play it one more time at half speed, and then we're gonna hear it a lot at a slower tempo, and I'll show you guys what's going on. It's actually really awesome, which is apparent. But like when you really see what he's doing at a slower tempo, it's like, oh my gosh, okay, that's what he's doing. And you find, as we've talked about many times, they're simple little Lego blocks that are stacked together really fast.
Confirmed on Carlos Rios.
What's that?
Confirmed on Carlos Rios. I've never heard of him, honestly.
He's a shredder, man. Okay, so here we go. Okay. All right. Okay. So, any initial thoughts hearing that so far?
About the music.
Anything? Yeah. It's. I mean, it's pretty insane, man.
To me, because I saw that comment, it just happened a couple days ago, and I wonder if Chris is gonna get this, because I was like, I was gonna maybe take it on, because I was like, you did the herring, I was like, oh, maybe I should do some fusion here too, and but I'm very grateful that you got to it for a double-edged sword again, but
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for that. Anyway, music stuff. Well, yeah, once again, better you than me. Music stuff. The drums are the first thing, because I'm like, where the heck is the one? Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's tricky, but then I started. It's on the beat 4, where he does a lot of hits towards the end or the second half of it, and that's actually how because when you start at 5:30, it's just a wash. Like, oh my god, I can't find it. But then the drums start to tell you it's you can hear that hit on the crash or whatever, or ride or whatever he's crashing, on the of 4, I believe. So that tied the room together of like where the one was at first. Other than that, this is more a timbre thing. His tone is just, I love it. I really like his tone. The speed is fantastic. I love the one lick towards the end, voo-da-dee-da, but it's not the right pitch, voo-da-dee-da, something like that. But it just sounds like fusion.
It does.
That's all I got, because I did not put on analysis brain at all, because it's so fast. But
yeah, what's funny is that for anybody hanging out with us, what Colin just said is exactly where I started. Where's one? And so I'm like, we're pretty locked in that regard. What I did, and actually as I reflected on my approach, I realized it was flawed, but it worked out anyway. It's like sometimes when you bet on something and then it works out, but it doesn't mean that the approach was necessarily the best way. So what I did was I heard the snare drum right before the lick, where I started trying to learn it, and I thought to myself, okay, typically I hear the snare drum on 2 and 4, so just as a starting point, that's what I did. And it ended up working out, but then I realized later, just like Colin said, the kick, and there's this syncopated thing on the and of 4. And so what I ended up realizing is, even though this seems so strange, I think it's 4/4. That's how I was counting it.
Oh, no.
Did you come away with that too? That it was 4/4?
I didn't even get there. Oh, well, once I started hearing the consistent and consecutive uhs of 4, I guess it could be the and of 4 or the of 4, depending on where we put the pulse.
Yeah.
We're calling an upbeat. it's an upbeat crash that hangs over into the downbeat. It pushes past the downbeat. That consecutively was like, helped me lock in the 4. And yeah, like you, I looked for the snares on 2 and 4, but I can't remember if there was maybe some, 1, 2, and 4, like, because good drummers will often, hit that snare on 1, like an Afrobeat. And my good buddy, rest in peace, Russell Batiste, in funk music, New Orleans, they put that 1 on snare, and it's just magic, that kind of thing.
So that was what I meant by it ended up working out for me, but that isn't always, like, sometimes you just need somewhere to kind of jump off from. That's where I ended up starting with the snare, assuming on 2, and then it ended up working out, but it doesn't always, to your point, work out to that. Okay, so before I do the lead, why don't I actually attempt to show what the chords are, or as far as I can tell. Because I think that is important. Like, I don't want to just go, here's the lick or whatever, and there's no context. So the way that I heard that, and maybe what I'll do here is I've got it queued up. Let me kind of... I heard it starting on, I think, like an A flat minor. Then a B flat minor. And then a C minor. Sorry, there's so much going on. I had to so it's like... Now it hangs here from shred, and then it ends up going to an F minor. It's almost like a 9. Still at C minor 9, and then And here we go. And then it goes to F minor. And the part that I'm doing is going to stay there. So it's kind of like hangs for a while and then ends up going to F minor. And I'm doing all seven.
Can I say something, man, about the four chord that I'm guessing we're in C minor, general key or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get it's weird because it does an A flat minor, B flat minor, and then here. And so, I mean, for what we're dealing with, the bulk of it, yes, I would think of as C minor.
Oh, and I guess that's kind of that's something, because we're doing 30-second snippets on this podcast, on this series, so that's not really fair to the big picture of the song or whatever, which I haven't listened to. I've only listened to these 30-second clips. So pretending the song or whatever, or the tonal center, the key is C minor here. I just find it fascinating, and I hope this might be helpful for people, because it just helped me realize, like, because it's Chick Corea, the drummer's fantastic, the soloist Rios is just shredding. It's intimidating as a transcriber, as a student of music, to be like, it's because this is top of the game. This type of music, this high level jazz fusion, is so top of musicianship. It can be intimidating or whatever, but the point I'm trying to make is, like, if it's just 1 to 4. Don't forget about the simple chord changes. That's a 1 to 4 in a minor key or whatever.
Yeah.
And I haven't analyzed the chords at all, so maybe I would have come up with it. But I think I would have been a little fearful hearing all those chords, thinking that it's going to be some giant steps kind of changes. You know what I mean? Like anticipating the harmony, the chords, and the bass line to be so complex to match the complexity of the virtuosity of the drums and the guitar. All right, that's all.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, but okay. Now what I'm going to do is just before I play with the loop or anything, I'm just going to do it kind of just me and gather my thoughts with it. So what he starts with is this. That's the first lick that I was kind of dialing into, saying, it's so cool. So, you know what? Let me do the whole thing, and then I'll come back to that. So, oops. And then and then okay, so that's the section. Let me go through with the slowdowner so you guys can hear that a little more in context. In fact, I'll do what I just did. I'll try to keep up with it with the track, so we have that as a reference point. And then we can look at each part and see, okay, what is happening. So here we go. Whoop. Whoop. I gotta do it on my own. So let's start there. Okay, so the first little piece, remember, we're coming from this so it kind of, you hear it against that A flat minor, and what he's doing, he's starting on an A flat. Now I can't see what he was doing, so take this with a grain of salt in terms of the position, but I'm trying to use a bit of economy of movement. So he's going, and that right there, man, is that a good dexterity exercise, because you have to go, at least the way I'm doing it, 4, 3, 2, 4, 1. And right there, you've used all your fingers. So that's a good way. And then the next part. So I would use that as like a little dexterity builder. Now after that, then we're playing this, let me see, well, I think it's against the B flat minor, but he's going B flat, which is so pretty. So right there, you could think of that as like an E flat minor arpeggio, but starting on the 5th. And then we slide down. So right there, that's an E flat dominant, which is really interesting. We're going from this E flat minor to an E flat 7. So I can't begin to tell you what this guy was thinking, but I love it. It sounds really good. So let me take it to that point again, starting on the A flat. Now this next lick is really tough to get the timing. He does like a triplet. So right there, that lick was 15 a B. And I love this. This is a real jazzy kind of thing. I think that's come up. I think it came up with the Jimmy Herring thing. That little. It's like a little enclosure. You know, if you have a target note, C, which actually makes sense because that's where our chord is going. What you can do as a neighboring tone kind of concept is a lot of times you can go, you'll go a semitone under your target, a scale step above, and then to it. Now, you don't have to do that. You can make up your own. You could do it like that or whatever. But I think probably the most common one I've come across, I don't know about you, Colin, is like half step under, scale tone above, and then target. Is that what you're more familiar with in terms of?
Yeah, or the reverse, 2-7-1 or 7-2-1.
Yeah. In either direction.
Yeah, and for all of our fish heads out there, Landlady Trey does that a bit.
Yeah, totally. It's just a really beautiful sound as you're targeting that note. Okay, no, shoot, where did I leave off? Okay, let me actually go back up. And then he goes from this B flat, whoop, not that, which is really interesting. So that almost has a Dorian flavor to it because there's an A natural in there. And then, you know what I love? Trey does this in Stash where you, in a minor setting, use the major third as a passing tone to the minor. I love that, man. So if you're thinking of a C minor, it's not that the thing about wrong notes, it's not so much that the note is wrong. It may be just that the time was wrong for that, or like the timing. Like, the analogy I always use, I used it just the other day in a lesson, is like, imagine, you know, you've got your best friend in the world, you know, and you really love this person, but you're having like, you're having a dinner, romantic dinner with your wife or something, or whoever, and they just show up at your door. It's not that you don't love them, they're the right friend for you. They just showed up at the wrong time, and sometimes notes work like that. It's not that they're wrong, their timing is just off. You know what I mean? So like this thing is so cool. Then check out what he does after that. He goes down to this G minor arpeggio like that. And then he takes that lick and moves it down a whole step. All right, now let me recap from, let me see here. I'm going to go from this kind of triplet thing. I'm going to play up to that point and then get your take on it so far. So... This dude was a bad man. This would you say his name is Rios?
Carlos Rios, it looks like.
Oh, Rios. Okay, yeah, man. Okay, any thoughts so far before I go to the kind of the home stretch here?
Can I get the tab, man? No, I can't wait to go back over this and work on it, because this is exactly what I've been. I think I told you in an email. I'm feeling this calling towards fusion stuff myself, and I have been for a while since Holdsworth came into my life a couple years
Cool.
ago. But man, the chromaticism is really evident to me. There's a lot of chromaticism. It's so complex for how fast he plays it. What that second lick, that E flat minor? Can you play that for me one time? I'm like, this is a lesson for me. But the note he starts on was what again? It was
B flat.
It was the fifth.
Yeah.
Play it for me one more time.
So. And he's really leading down to this, which is just. It's interesting because he's on the D, which is the major 7 of E flat, but then he's going to a dominant.
Okay, great.
That note, you know what's funny is because of that, I was inclined to think at first, this is funny because sometimes your mind will tell you something different than what your ears do. And a lot of times your ears will be right, but your, like the intellect will say, no, it should be this or whatever, because music theory kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But so like, because of that D, I thought it was going to be, I was expecting a D on top of that arpeggio. And instead he goes.
For an E flat dominant. So he switches from an E flat minor 7 to an E flat dominant?
Yeah, but really, okay, here's the thing.
Or there's a major 7.
But that's partially true. But then I should say though, right after that, then he goes right to D. So he's going.
Okay.
So actually, look at that whole thing in context. You've got
wow. Okay.
And then what did I say? So actually, when you look at it like that, it makes more sense. Like I retract my statement about that necessarily. Like it is true that if I were to cherry pick that
in a vacuum, yeah.
In a vacuum, that would be, but it's leading to that. So I should like, you know, and then it's going to the major third. How cool is? I know I'm stealing that. Like it's like
one more time, really slow, please.
And then he goes like that at the end. And that's all leading now. Things are making more sense now, actually, now that I think about it. Because, okay, we just did this E flat major 7 sound, which in turn, against the C, remember I said the C, it felt like a C minor 9? That's exactly what that arpeggio against the C minor will produce. So, okay, we're figuring it out as we go here.
I love that with chord, sorry to interrupt, with chord extensions, like, you know, the 9 of something is the 3 of something else or whatever. It's,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Just they're late for dinner.
Yeah, it's
like you said.
So if you were to like, in fact, why don't I do this real quick? I had another thing on my loop, but let me just do like a. That's kind of cool, man. That's against a C minor. And then if you go to there, it's yeah. Okay, let me do that.
It to the C.
Oh wait, wait? I'm gonna go from here.
Burn me, man. It moves around all these tonalities. It's
yeah.
Cool. Well,
okay, then
one thing. Sorry. Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
The way he starts that on the 5th, the B flat, the 5th of the E flat. That's what we call it's blanking on me right now. A pivot. arpeggio,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Usually we think of those on the root note, but you can start them on any chord tone, right?
Totally.
3, 7, 5, or 1. In this case, the 5. But yeah, it was nice to be able to point that out. I thought to pivot,
Yeah,
start with the
I'm going to
pivot.
come back to something at the end based on what you just said that I've really been working on myself and then having students try. Don't let me forget to come back to that because I want to cover the rest of that. There's not a ton left. This is a short clip, but then let's do a little thing of how you can apply some practice to be like the key to this guy's playing so far in terms of what I can pick out of it. Yes, he's an extremely virtuosic, he's very good, but he's creative. That's what I think this guy's superpower is. Just like I think Trey and Jerry, like my favorite players, they're creative. Jimmy Herring, the last one that I did here on your channel was with him, and that was my main takeaway was, yes, he's able to play with proficiency to execute his ideas, but the core of it is his creativity that allows him to even do that. So okay, let me pick up. Let me do that like one more time, and then I'm going to move on from there. So we've got this. Okay, then we go. I'll pick up after that, but this is really cool. Now, this is my best guess to the position because I was first kind of tempted to go to the first position of the minor pentatonic, but then I thought, you know what? I think he's not doing that. Because you would have to just play it. No, maybe he is. I have no idea, man. It's pretty tough not seeing the guy or really being familiar with this guy. But and then I shifted down because then I heard this subtle hammer-on, which I think I wouldn't want to play that lick without that. It's so. It has so much flavor to it that I wouldn't want to compromise that hammer-on. So I guess I could play it like move up, up there, and he may be doing that. So take it with a grain of salt. But what I have for that next part is, wait. And so it's got this weaving like that. And then he goes back with the ring finger. I'm shifting to 10. And again, it fits that kind of profile of like a C minor 9 that we've been talking about. He hangs on the 4th. There's a lot of that too. I love that sound against the C minor. Like the 4th doesn't have to be an avoid note. And then he goes back and kind of revisits that. But he adds in this little bit like that. Then here we are kind of getting to the home stretch. We're going to go to this kind of, again, this Dorian note, this A natural. And that's where we're leading into the F minor. Or it could be a slide up. And then here's the last little run. In fact, I want to hear that end again. I think the rhythm's slightly different. Let me see here. Of course, my thing froze up. One sec. Here we go. Yeah, so and I think that's the part you said kind of stuck out to you a little bit in terms. Yeah, how cool is that? That's like you said, that's like the jam or the fusion. Yeah, that's the fusion sound in a nutshell right there. So that's the whole thing. In fact, let me go back and try. I want to try to get this all in one thing with the track. Again, in case somebody wants to learn this section, I'm going to try. It might take me a couple tries. I mean, this is pretty tough for me here. Now here's the end. Close enough. Man. So thanks again for that request. Let me see here. Jay. Okay, Jay Lukens, it looks like. Man, thank you so much. That was a really fun challenge, and it was actually kind of fun to work that out with you, because some of those things, like that E flat arpeggio kind of moment with that chromaticism and everything, it started to make more sense as you look at it and zoom out. Okay, what's the chord being played? Oh yeah, it's a C minor, and that's a great way to approach things sometimes when you're improvising is if you have a minor chord, okay, could we substitute its relative major, for example? That's what he's doing here. And a lot of times it's the simplest way to just give it a little different flavor, a little bit of a different sound. Now, I wanted to come back to something I said I've been working on that's the simplest thing to work on creativity. Okay, so one of my main kind of beliefs, my core beliefs, is that all of us, anybody listening to this, you and I, we have enough to be good improvisers. But especially with guitarists, we kind of want those trinkets of scales and all these kind of things. So I've been thinking about how can we take what we already have and be more creative with it. So here, let me just give a little bite-sized example of something I was doing with a student yesterday. Shout out Brian. I don't know if Brian's watching this, but I put him through the ringer with this, and it was really fun. And just goes to show how differently you can get things to sound by just changing how you approach it. Okay, so what I had him do was a triad exercise. And also, I want to say this is coming from when you were talking about that pivot concept. You know, from that, okay? So it may seem different, but it's in the same umbrella of thought. So I was like, okay, let's do a pinky finger triad for C major. And what I'm going to do is number the notes, not by the intervals of the scale, but just low to high. It's very simple. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so anybody out there, I know what the intervals are. I'm just doing it from low to high. I'm numbering it that way. So I had him go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then after he did that, I said, okay, good. Now do 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. And then he was like, okay, cool. Now what I had him do, I'm not going to do it all right now, but vary the rhythm. And then, or no, I'll do it like this. He did that, and then we went to minor. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. See how different the second one sounds from the first one? Then we did that with diminished. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. And with all the different rhythms, and then we did it for augmented. Kind of your main food groups for triads, I would say. So he did that, and then there's a little sigh of relief, and then I was like, good, now do it with your middle finger. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, do da do ga da do ga da do ga da do da do ga. See, I'm just flipping it, and then do da da do da da do ga da do ga da do ga da do da do, and then do da da do da da do da da do da da do da da. And then maybe there was a feeling like, okay, shoot, we're done. I was like, no, now do it with your index.
Super string style, yeah.
And then augmented. know, to me that has such a different feel.
Oh, that's yeah. If I may, there's that's such a great little exercise, man. I think a lot of the times people initially start on the 3 notes per string. That's not exactly what Chris is doing here, but the third example that you did kind of touches on that style of positioning. Or I think maybe the most common one is to do like the closed positioning one, where you see it like as you see a closed position. I've got so much grit on there. And that kind of closed positioning. But what I really like was the first one that you did, because, and maybe it's your piano, abilities or background or skills, but that approach for guitarists, I think, is the most lost on most guitarists, or the most uncommon that we see. I mean, I guess you see it in the cage system or whatever, but I think that one is really good to see from a theoretical standpoint, and it helps see it like on 3 different strings. So you can see it kind of linearly like you would on the staff or on a piano. I really like that you started with that one.
Yeah, and the reasoning for that too is that, like, this is kind of my personal philosophy, and I think we share this in a lot of ways. Like, if I have a note that, let's say, is the root of something, or it doesn't even matter, just every note has a relationship to something else, but let's say it's the root of a major chord, I want to know how it manifests itself to the left of that root. That would be like what we just discussed. I want to know how it manifests across that root, like on top of it, yeah. And then how it manifests to the right of it. Because if you take a major scale and you do it like that, now we've got this access, this starting point, but now we've gotten access to all the way down to the 5th fret. I'm kind of getting blurry here. And then if we do a cross, okay, now we've got sort of this middle, probably most efficient kind of zone right here. Yep. And then to your point, the 3 note per string thing, now we've mapped out this thing where we're doing the exact same thing. The timbre changes, but the notes are the same. We've spanned most of the fretboard, and then if you really think about it, it just repeats again anyway. Like if you just take those concepts and move them up, you would have the same stuff up here, and you have the same stuff up here, and then you have the same thing right here, kind of like the C to shining C from Trey.
Sorry, starting like on a 5th string root.
Yeah, sure. It'd be the same thing. Yeah, like you would have your pinky finger starting, and then your middle finger starting, and then your index. Like it's all the same stuff. Now, the other thing I'd like to do with that, I guess we'll just kind of, this is a little longer, but let's roll with it in case anybody's still watching. Hopefully, you get value from this right here. So then, what I like to do is then I take that concept and I put a lot of time and thought into that, kind of like doing it here, doing it over top and to the right, then dyads, and then triads, and then here, okay, and then do it here, and then 7, and then you get the idea. So then after you've done that, you leverage that and go, now, if I just raise the 4th, I have all my Lydian stuff. And I just count 1, 2, 3, raise 4th. 1, 2, 3, raise 4th. And then again here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then again here, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I love this. You're really sorry to interrupt. Really hammering home the identity note of a mode outside of major minor, which is our sharp 4 or sharp 11 in Lydian in this case. Brilliant.
Totally, that's what gives it its special flavor. And then you rinse and repeat for your mix of Lydian. And the cool thing about that, you've already done the legwork if you do it with Ionian. Now you can use that as your compass. And then I like to also do it with melodic minor. Do major, but just flatten your 3rd, and then you've got the same thing. And then okay, now, but actually, I got a little off topic. Back to the triad thing. Yeah, I was actually only 1/3 done with it. I'm not going to do the whole thing right now, but just so you get the idea. Then you would go, okay, now all of those ones I did started with the one, I'm calling one the root note, the first note. Now I'm going to start with two.
Permutations.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You talked about that in the first episode. So
Yeah, I permutate everything. If you come up with a 3-note or more system, or lick or exercise, something like this, which will become licks, obviously later with the a creative rhythmic application of it. I'm basic math geek, like very simple math, but I'll throw it on the board. It'll be like 1 2 3 1 3 2 2 1 3 2 3 1 in order, so I can see it very just like pattern, logic pattern based way. So if I may, you're going, at first 1 2 3. And then 1 3 2, and then 2 1 3 2 3 1 3 1 2 3 2 1, and that's all of them. There's 9. If you have a set of, and you start to memorize math wise, if you have a set of 3, there's 9 permutations. If you have a set of 4, there'll be 24 permutations, like I did with that basic, or whatever, all 24 of those or whatever. And it starts getting hairy when you repeat notes and stuff like that too. But that's why it's like, what am I trying to say here? Here's that dreaded guitarist student word of plateau. When you reach a plateau, and we all do, like you and I do, I'm sure, like on a somewhat bi-weekly or bi-monthly or whatever basis. Yeah. When you reach a plateau, remember what we're talking about right now. If you can find a simple exercise like that and just think of how you can permutate it direction-wise. You can permutate rhythms. What if you get into the idea of like short, long, long, short, or if it's more specific, like quarter, eighth, triplet, whatever, and you permutate all those options, you can take 3 notes or 4 notes or a whole scale and have weeks worth of ideas, right? It's not like 24 hours a day, but good 3-4 hours a day if you practice that long, like of crazy amounts of opportunity or examples. Anyway.
Yeah, you literally couldn't get bored if you go through those permutations, like you said. Last little thing for me, just because I thought it was such a great, that opening lick, it reminded me of this. I know we're going long here, but just one last thing. That opening lick, I found, at least the way I was trying to do it I was trying not to compromise. My lazy side wants to use the ring finger and, or something like that. But I was like, no, let me do it like that. Let me do that again. That's a great little. It reminded me of this really challenging part to Gaiuti, which I covered on your channel. I think it was like the second one, where on the second round of sort of the classical part, he goes. Well, I'm just looping it, but it reminds me of that same. This is challenging to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but going 4 3 2 4. That part, I find it be such a pain in the butt. So my main point here is I love to take things from a song that push me to a part where I'm like, I get a little insecure. The ego starts to bite back a little bit. Like, wow, like there's this healthy competitive part, not to somebody else, but to myself, where like, you should be able to play that. There's no reason you can't play that. That's what I tell myself. And then I'll just loop like a part like that. Like this guy. That's tough, man. To me, that's a tough little lick. So
anytime that sorry, Jeff.
I was just gonna say, just take, I just love taking a lick that really is like just beyond my, like, especially if I were to try to play that at 100%, I got it to like 70, and that was really hard for me. 100% would take weeks probably of me diligently doing that. But taking something like that, and that's where I find those plateau moments like you're talking about. That's one thing that'll help me get out of those is putting in a little work on something that's outside of my comfort zone. And one last thing on plateaus is there's a great book called Mastery by George something or other. I'm forgetting his name. He was an Aikido master, but what he talked about was don't be fooled by the plateau, because the way progress works is that you put in a ton of reps in that plateau, and then it goes shoop like that, and then again it goes shoop, and you think nothing's happening, but it really is. Like I remember bar chords being like that. I remember being a little guy and like I couldn't get bar chords, and then just one day, and I would try, and then just one day, like then I could. It was almost like, it's like when you hear people when the band really took off, the band. People were like, "Oh, they're an overnight success." It's like, no, they were grinding in bars for 10 years. You always hear stories where they came out of nowhere. You know.
When you mentioned that, I was just working on. Shout out to my student Brian, different Brian. The night they drove Old Dixie down. It's such a good song, and oh my gosh, I went on a rabbit hole of analyzing the lyrics and the meaning, and it's
cool.
It's really interesting if you're into.
I love that track.
Oh my God, it's such a good song. Wow, it's so cool. I didn't know. I always about the lyrics, but yeah, you can go on many rabbit holes, and there's many interpretations of the lyrics of that song. I won't get into it now, but the other thing I wanted to say, last thing I'll say, we should probably wrap it up, huh? Is pinky stuff, because you were mentioning the pinky. Anytime I find an exercise that's pinky driven or pinky focused, I try to lean into that. Or if there's an opportunity to use the third finger or the fourth finger, regardless of the timbre, like how it sounds, regardless of ergonomical ease, generally I would take the easy route, especially if it's like performance time, like Trey says, go, and Joe Pass says, go play what's easy. But for a self, like you said, self-competitive nature, but the Buddhist in me, like embracing suffering. Like I truly believe in embracing suffering to, build character or just acceptance of reality. But getting too philosophical, Colin. Nah, that pinky stuff, like I'll lean towards the pinky and do just like you did. Dee-dee-da-dee-dee-dee-dee, like stay with it for a while, because the pinky's like the weakest link for all of us, all guitar players. So anytime I tell students this, anytime you have an opportunity to use the pinky, like sit there with it for a while, because don't always let it be the little baby guy, like the little, just like your modes, like, oh, maybe Locrian's not as strong as Mixed Lydian. Why not? Shouldn't it be? I mean, you might not use it as much, but when it's game time and you want to play it, it should be, they should all, and it's, these are going to be stronger, obviously. It's just, I think, a physical thing, but look at Django. He had two fingers and he could do crazy stuff. But
he did all right.
Yeah.
He did.
He did okay. Yeah. Well, that was great, Chris.
Okay.
Really nice lesson, man. Really nice video. That was great.
Thanks, man. That was a toughie. Really appreciate the recommendation. Keep them coming, guys. We're having fun. That was a fun challenge, and maybe I'll try to get to 100% in a couple weeks or something like that. But that was really cool. Really appreciate it. We appreciate you guys listening. I should have said this earlier. Subscribe. Give us a like if you're still hanging out. We really appreciate that. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Take care, everybody.